Do you want to grow sales faster? You need more trust with your prospects and clients. Welcome to the Trust Building Challenge, brought to you by Selling from the Heart. Each day, you'll be challenged and equipped with new ideas to grow and sustain trust. You'll discover practical ideas that you can put to work right away to help you grow your sales. You're about to be coached by some of the world's foremost sales thought leaders and practitioners. This is going to be practical and fun. So grab a pen and notepad and get ready to take action as we join our hosts, Larry Levine and Daryl Amy.
Good morning and welcome back to the 2022 Trust Building Challenge. Daryl Amy here with Larry and an incredible community of people all over the world. I'm so excited today, Larry. This is going to be so much fun.
Hey, dude, I'm super excited to have Robin Treasure join us. And you know what? I'm glad you're coming to us from the road. The Selling from the Heart, the Trust Challenge goes on, Daryl Ame. Hey, Greg Walters, good morning.
Here.
Great to see you.
Greg Walters in the house. We got our friend Dave Tegmeyer here. Of course, Jackie Joy. What would Selling from the Heart be without Jackie Joy or Coach Bill McCormick? If you're here, give us a shout out where you're from. This is going to be such a great day today. Robin Treasure is, well, pure gold. Treasure. I mean, she is a treasure to the sales world, and I'm so excited about the conversation we're going to have. A huge shout out to everybody chiming in from all over the world. Thank you, John.
I'm getting ready. You know what? I suspect we're going to have a Schroeder bomb, one or two of them throughout this morning. So
it's definitely going to happen. And the reason we're gathered here for the Trust Building Challenge is really, really simple. The number one thing that we need as sales professionals, hands down, doesn't matter what you sell, what industry you're in, whether you've been doing this for 20 years or 2 days or 2 months, doesn't matter. Hands down, as sales professionals, one thing we need is the ability to establish and maintain and grow trust, because without trust, everything goes to a grinding halt.
Yeah, you know, and yesterday, I just absolutely loved how Simon rolled out all of his ideas and all of his insight around trust. And it just I think it got everybody thinking. And, you know, first and foremost, it's how y'all carrying yourself. First thing. Second thing is the walk match the talk. And you're staying true to everything that you say. Are you doing exactly what you say you're going to do?
Absolutely. And, you know, if you look at this quote, and I'm just going to pull this in, this is from our guest on Friday. And you want to be here Friday with Charlie Green. It's going to be amazing. Charlie says it takes two people to do the trust tango, the one who risks and the one who is trustworthy, the trustor and the trustee. And each one has to play their role. And Larry, when we think of trust and we think of the trust formula that we rolled out yesterday, so much of trust relates to relationships. Like, how are we at developing and sustaining authentic relationships? Looking at the trust formula, this whole relational component of trust, we put it first because in a lot of ways, this is the first and most important thing, is developing authentic relationships.
No, you're absolutely right. And I've always said that the more people you know, the more you'll grow. And I think what's really interesting, and I think this would be a great way, just a great segue to bring this up, Daryl, is I know last week you were at Inbound in Boston, and you had slacked me over something. You're in a seminar, and it was all about how many relationships, right? The more relationships you build translated to sales. You got to expand on this for just a moment, because I think it's a great tie-in to our discussion today.
Well, I think we'll bring some of this specific data in later in the week. But the reality of all of this is, I think we knew this intuitively as sales professionals, that the more relationships we have, obviously Challenger, our friends Brent Adamson and Matt Dixon in the Challenger customers showed us that there's an average of 5.4 decision makers in an average deal. That number went to 6.7. It's now over 11 in some industries as we've gone through the pandemic and the rise of the buying team and consensus buying. And the reality is, whether it's 5.4 or 50 people on the team, the question is, how many of those people do you know? And the data that we'll show later this week definitely shows that the more people you know, like you say, the more you know, the more you grow, the more you know, the more you sell, or the more you grow sales. And that's why the number and the quality of the relationships that you have in your prospects and in your client base is directly related to your sales success, because it's the driver of trust. And this is the trust formula that we're aiming at this week: authentic relationships plus meaningful value, two sides of the trust coin, and the multipliers
is inspirational experience. This is how you show up. I stressed it yesterday. You control 100%. 100% of how you show up. It's that experience you provide. But to me, the biggest leg on this is disciplined habits. If you remove disciplined habits, you're going to have a wobbly table. Disciplined habits brings the glue that holds all of this together.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to touch on each one of these throughout the week. Today, we're thinking about authentic relationships as we get ready to have Robin Treasure coach us. And the reality is our ability to establish and grow in our relationships inside our clients and inside our prospects is going to directly relate to our sales success. But that foundation underneath the entire trust formula, it all is laid on a foundation, and the foundation is hidden or in plain sight in the subtitle of the book, Selling from the Heart. I don't know if you're familiar with that one, Larry.
No, hey, serious? No.
So it's in the subtitle of Selling from the Heart. Your authentic self sells you. So if you're going to show up and be trustworthy, become that trusted advisor, you've got to know your authentic self. And that's why we're so excited about our partner for this event and our new partner for Selling from the Heart, the Why Institute. And because it gives us an ability to discover our why. And so many people started doing this yesterday. It's fun to see the comments coming back into the LinkedIn challenge group. There's a private group, by the way, and we'll get the link to that in the chat. But that private group is where people are sharing what they learned as they did discover your why. Which, by the way, you may be going, how do I discover my why? I wasn't here yesterday. No worries. We're glad you're here, and you can go to sellingfromtheheart.net/why. And in less than 5 minutes, discover your why. And we purchased actually 300 why assessments, $47 value for you as a challenge participant and our friends to be able to discover your why. We want you to learn about your authentic self. But one of the things that really stood out last night, and he's one of our favorites and a rock star, is our friend David Tegmeyer discovered his why last night.
Yeah, no, he did. And I know Dave's watching. You can drop your why in the chat, Dave.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dave's all about his why is keeping things simple. And if y'all know Dave Tegmeyer, he's a simple guy. And
that's right. And that's his superpower. Like, he's so good at it.
And it's eerie. I use the word eerie because it is, but when I discovered my why, and I shared a video earlier this morning inside the Selling from the Heart, the challenge group, is, I believe that success happens when I contribute to a greater cause. It's played out in how we're developing Selling from the Heart. It's played out in how I give back to the community. It's played out in my Kiwanis group. It's played out as I join the Elks. It's played out in how I've lend a helping hand. My big commitment is to contribute to a greater cause.
And mine, while David's is simplify, mine is to find a better way. And I shared a video about that yesterday from the airport. I'm always looking for a better way to do things. And Selling from the Heart, I think, is just a better way to sell. So that, it's so clarifying. And tomorrow, you're going to want to come back tomorrow, because tomorrow we've got Dan Dominguez. I see him in the chat.
I see. He's here. Dan Dominguez is in the house.
Dan's the one that introduced us to the Why Institute, and he's with the Why Institute. So it's going to be an amazing session tomorrow. But here's what we want you to do. Go to sellingfromtheheart.net/why. And what we're going to do, you're going to be able to take advantage of that free Discover Your Why. And we want you to take that and put a video in the challenge group. And let us know what your why is. In fact, if you want to put it in the chat right now, I'd love to hear what people are finding out, because once I know, and this is like the fast track to discovering your authentic self, it's so clarifying. Once I know who I am, I'm able to show up with authenticity. And when it comes to showing up with authenticity, Larry, I don't know anybody better than our guest today, Robin Treasure. So everybody out there, let's welcome to the 2022 Trust Building Challenge, Robin Treasure. Whoa!
Robin's in the house. I've been looking forward to
Hey.
this. Oh, you're a kindred spirit. We love you.
Likewise. The feeling is mutual, Larry and Daryl. I'm super happy to be here.
It's so good. And, when it comes to authenticity and relationships and all of that, you are so, you're so in the zone on this. And when you think about trust and when you think about developing trust in sales, this is a wide open question, but I'm just curious, what comes to mind for Robin Treasure when it comes to trust?
Absolutely. So I've got 3 key action steps to share today to talk about how do we build trust? How do we cultivate that trust in our prospects? But before we get to those, there are 2 key questions that are super important that you've got to ask yourself first. Okay?
Lay them on us.
I'll lay them on you. Because when we think of building trust, we think of it almost as an external action-oriented mechanism, which it is. And that's why I've got 3 key steps to share today. But like I said, there are 2 really important questions that you have to ask yourself first before you even launch into any key action steps to build trust in your prospects. So the first question is, do I trust that everything is turning out for the greatest good? In other words, do I trust that I will be okay no matter what? So Albert Einstein said, the most important decision we can make is whether we believe that we live in a friendly or hostile universe.
Interesting.
That decision will determine your entire worldview.
Wow.
So if you trust that you live in a friendly universe, it's going to change your energy in the way you show up for other people, right? Now, the second question, I mentioned there are 2 important questions to ask yourself, right? So the first question we just said, do I trust that everything is turning out for the greatest good? Number 2, do I trust myself to live up to my promises and to do my absolute best? Do I trust myself? If you don't, it's okay. But what do you need to do in order to get to that place of really trusting yourself, right? Do you need coaching? Do you need more training? Do you need to talk it through with someone? You've got to be able to trust the promises that you are making to your prospects, right? About you and the product that you represent.
Oh, this is so good, because as I was listening to your first question, I was already playing out of my mind. And you laid this out in the second question, because it's, do you trust yourself? And I think that's a mirror moment for a lot of salespeople out there is, do I trust myself, and will I hold myself accountable to exactly what I say, and not succumb to the pressure and not succumb to all the shenanigans that happens around you?
That's absolutely right.
Yeah, and I'm just this, like, that first question really grabbed me, because if you think about, the world in general is a tough place, right? And then say you layer on sales and the uncertainty and the rejection and all of the things. It's so easy to get, even to start the day out going, yeah, the world's a great place, and by lunchtime you're like, the world's not a great place. And then
well, I just say lay off the news.
But you don't have to go to the news, though, Larry. You just got to go to your email and go to your sales bullpen, and get the phone slammed down on you a couple times, to where it's really easy to get pulled into that place where you go, the world's not a safe place. I'm not safe. I'm not hitting my quota. I'm going to lose my job. Like, all of this stuff starts spiraling up. And what you said, Robin, is at that point now, you're bringing a totally different energy to the table, and that energy is sabotage to success.
That's absolutely right. And so it is a daily effort, a disciplined habit as you have in your trust formula. It's a disciplined habit to every day renew your belief in yourself and in the fact that you do live in a friendly universe that may present you challenges throughout the day, but keep believing and keep maintaining that trust. Because what happens is this is an instantaneous way of building trust in your prospects with the energy with which you show up.
Wow.
So if you do trust in the universe that this is a friendly universe and you trust yourself to fulfill your promises, you will show up with an energy that is positive, that is collaborative, that you will do what is right, and you will release emotional attachment to the sale. And that builds instantaneous trust with your prospects, right? Because they can feel it.
Yeah, it's so interesting. It's been, he was in our Authentic Selling Challenge earlier this year. Is what you just said. I had flashes of our dear friend Scott Schilling, and Scott Schilling's famous line is this: high intention, low attachment. And it plays out in this over and over and over again. Hey, Rachel Christensen's in the house. I love Rachel Christensen. Nice. Hey, thanks for joining us. I just happened to see that in the chat. Sorry to get sidetracked.
Yeah, but her point is so strong, Rachel. I like, if you look for evidence that university people are good, you will find it. If you want evidence that they're not good, totally easy to find that too, right?
That's absolutely right. I mean, whatever you decide and whatever you believe in will be true. So look for the evidence. I love that. Absolutely. If you decide that you live in a hostile universe or you don't trust yourself, all of those things, what you will show up with is an energy of scarcity and fear and grasping and striving, right? That's energy that your prospects will feel immediately, right?
Wow.
So showing up with that energy of positivity, releasing attachment to the sale, doing what's right for the prospect, that's your instantaneous way of building trust.
So, easier said than done for a lot of people. So, let's still continue down this road. Coach us through how you can achieve this, because some of us might be going, right, I hear you, but and they'll fill in the blank with some excuses. But that's just continue, coach us through this, through what you just said, because this is so mission critical right now. Absolutely.
Yeah, so it's easy, like you said, Daryl, you get the bad email, you get the bad news, you get the rejection, and it's easy to slip into that place of fear, self-doubt, anything else. But if you reflect retroactively on your life, the times when you got the rejection, the deal didn't work out, but things went on to turn out better than you could have ever imagined. You just had, right? If you look back and you say, yeah, when I got rejected by, even in the dating world, I got rejected by so-and-so, and that really hurt at the time. Thank God that didn't work out, because
fall out of my chair.
Right? Because look who I went on to meet. I met the most fabulous person, right? So take stock of your life. Look back retroactively. Look at how things truly are always turning out for the greatest good. Even the tough times, they strengthen you. They give you that strength and that resilience to do even better the next time around. So that's one of the key ways that I would say is to really, reflect, take a moment to reflect, and you'll see things actually are turning out for the greatest good.
This concept of gratitude, and this habit, this is a disciplined habit, right? That we don't talk about in sales. We think of prospecting and all these disciplines important, but the habit of gratitude and getting that mindset and heart set correct at the beginning of the day, and probably for me, if I'm honest, is self-correcting during the day, setting and starting strong. These habits are so powerful, and they're validated. I mean, research shows us that gratitude is one of the most powerful things out there.
It really is, Daryl. That's actually the key word is just being thankful, feeling gratitude for what you have. That's the quickest way to shift out of a place of fear or scarcity, which we can all find ourselves in from time to time. The way to quickly shift out of it, you don't even have to believe in that moment that things will turn out perfectly. Just simply shift your attention to what you do feel grateful for. It may have nothing to do with the current situation that is causing you some distress, but simply shift your focus to what you are grateful for. That's the quickest way to shift your energy.
Love it.
And
I love
you know,
it.
and here's what's interesting. I want to continue down this gratitude conversation just for a second. I want us just to think for a moment as salespeople, sales leaders that are watching. Think about how you can shift that conversation with somebody immediately. Because we all know, and we talked about it yesterday with Simon, you know, the first couple minutes, they're determining real quick, are you trustworthy? Are you credible? Can I open up to you? Am I comfortable enough with you that I can start sharing things? Imagine just for a moment, what would it feel like? And I want us to all think about this. If you opened your conversation with somebody, I'll use you as an example, Robin. Hey, Robin, I'm super grateful for our time together over the next half an hour or over the next 15 minutes. I just want to say thank you. Now, some people may or may not agree with me, and that's okay. But imagine the setting you've just created to put somebody at ease as you start to have that conversation with them.
Absolutely. You know, and if you truly mean it, right, of course it has to be authentic and real, but if you truly mean it, they will feel it. They will know. And that's why I keep using this word of instantaneous. And I want to contrast that with other actions that we can take that require time, because it also takes time to build trust, right? So there are different layers of trust that we build. So one is that instantaneous trust that we've just talked about. And the next is the three more external action-oriented steps that you can take to build trust. And that they happen over time. Okay. So the first of the three steps that I would share is to follow through. Hello.
Yeah.
Following through and following up is the simplest way to create and cultivate trust. And again, that does require time. But what happens is when you promise a prospect that you're going to get them some sort of a deliverable by Tuesday, do it by Tuesday. If you promise a prospect that you're going to follow up with them next Wednesday, simply follow up with them next Wednesday. It's so simple, but we all know the statistics of how many salespeople actually fail to follow up and follow through, right? Where sometimes the first touch point can be easy, but the second, third, fourth, it gets more difficult. But your prospect will begin to see that there is consistency there, and that there is a through line, there's a follow through in what you've promised to do. And it actually makes following up easier if you remind them, as promised, I am following up with you, right? As promised, because it's twofold. You are reminding them that you had promised them something and that you're actually following through. So that begins to build trust. It also makes it easier because we all feel sometimes a bit worried when it's time to follow up. We feel like we're being pesky, right? But if you remind them, hey, I had promised you this, it makes it easier. So it takes off a little bit of the edge of following up. So following up, following through, that's one of the first key action steps that you can take.
I like pause. We're like excited about this. You go ahead, Larry, because I got a massive aha moment here.
No, it's all good. I can tell when that happens. So nevertheless, but I love how you set this up as I promised. And just keep reinforcing that as I promised, and then fill that in. But you use the word consistency, and then I'll throw it your way, Daryl. I'm going to throw another word in front of consistency, and I just call it radical consistency. is, and, and selling from the heart, I've thrown a punchline in there throughout my book is, and it's no disrespect to salespeople. It's just real. They're consistently inconsistent, and people pick up on the consistency of your inconsistency. As silly as that sounds, but if we can just bring radical consistency to the forefront and just simply follow up with what we say we're going to do, you're more than halfway there in building trust.
Mm-hmm.
So
and
true.
This is my aha moment on this. I love this. I want to get to the next 2 points, too, because this is so good. I can tell from the chat, just going, everyone's and I've never thought about it this way, Robin. We've got an opportunity to build trust during the prospecting process by being consistent. And I mean, we know the data about how many touch points it takes to get, a first in, and how, all the way back to Zig and Tom Hopkins told us you give up way too early. But there's an opportunity in that cadence of follow-up to be able to establish trust during prospecting. And I think that there's a lot to that, and we've all had those people go, thanks for being persistent. I think at some point they go, this person follows through, like this person does it. So thanks for letting me have that aha moment. So what else? I mean, this is so good. 2 and 3, let's keep rolling. So rich. And thanks for all the comments from everybody on this. I can tell this is resonating with everyone so well. Thank you, Robin.
Awesome. Yeah. So second key action you can take, seize opportunities to recognize or acknowledge when mistakes happen, when your product may fail, when you don't know something. Those can all be cringy moments for us that we just want to get away from. You should actually seize them and embrace them. They are an opportunity to build trust in your prospects. So what do I mean? When a mistake is made, you've made a mistake or your company made a mistake, the product isn't getting shipped on time, address it full on, and it's your opportunity to really make up. Mistakes happen. The question is, what do you do when the mistake happens? How do you make up for it? What can you do? Right? Same with the failure of a product. Perhaps you represent, a product line where there are various products to choose from, or, different trainings you offer, whatever it is. Seize an opportunity when your prospect says, yeah, I think I want product A. And if you really don't think it's a good fit, it's actually a great opportunity to build trust, because you can let them know, hey, I actually don't think that product is a really great fit for you. What I would recommend is this one over here, and bonus points if it's a lower investment for them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're really demonstrating that you have their best interest in mind, not your own.
Rich. So rich.
Yeah. So, if it's just not going to suit them, you want to address it. And then if you don't know the answer to a question, don't wing it. Don't make it up. Do not. It's we can all be guilty. We can all be guilty of it. But the best thing you can say is to come clean and say, hey, I don't know the answer, but I will find that out.
No,
right?
Dude, this is okay. Sorry, I have flashbacks, but I have flashbacks to the Office Technology Channel. But I just it just drives home point 3. Now I remember, as we started to connect copiers to networks and things like that. I'm going back in time. Just bear with me for a second, but it all plays out. But I remember, right? I would have to have conversations with IT managers. And Daryl already knows this. A lot of the people are on this call that are chiming in chat know this. I'm not technologically inclined, none whatsoever. And I'm embarrassed to say it, but it's the truth. But I would share
not your
people,
why.
hey, listen, it's not my why, right? But I would share with people, hey, listen, you're a lot smarter than me. If I don't know something, I'm going to tell you right up front. You're a lot smarter when it comes to IT than I am. Hats off. But if I can't answer something, I got a team of people behind me that will, and I'll make sure I answer that question for you. And it plays out. And we as sales professionals, we just can't wing it. if we don't know the answer, just say, you know what, great question. Let me find the answer for you, and then I will get right back to you and follow up with it.
That's right. That's right. That's your double opportunity, right?
Yep.
Number one, you're seizing the opportunity to say, hey, I don't know. Number two, you're saying, but I'm going to get you that answer, and I'll get it to you by such and such a day. And then when you follow through, going back to our first action step, there you've built that trust.
Yep.
I think this is so good, especially for all of us. And I'm like, yes, it's so true. Like, you look, especially our new sales professionals, you go, I don't know. That's good. Say it, build some trust, then follow up and build some more trust. In the process, you're going to learn the answer too. And so all of this for younger sales professionals, or if you're new to an industry and you go, I don't know, how can I be trustworthy? That's how you do it. And that's super, super powerful.
That's how you do it. Absolutely. Absolutely. So are we ready for step number 3?
Bring it on.
Yeah, bring it.
Step?
The
Okay.
key action step. Drum roll, please. Step number 3.
So step number 3, and this is actually, it contains 3. It's a 3 for 1. This is my 3 ABCs that I share in my book. So first ABC, always be connecting. Always be connecting, meaning you're connecting with your prospects, seeking to understand what's going on for them. Again, releasing attachment to the sales, seeking to understand, right? Without launching into your pitch, without being super focused on you or your product. Always be connecting. Also, always be curious. Always be curious is another way of saying keep asking the relevant, impactful questions that are going to help you to really understand what they need. You will cultivate trust by always be connecting, always be curious, because they will see that you are focused on them, not on your own self-interests. And finally, always be classy. What that means is do not bash the competition. In fact, seize an opportunity. If your prospect says, yeah, I'm actually already using XYZ product from a different company, ask them, okay, great. What do you love about it? And just listen, okay? Don't bash the competition at all, but instead simply honor their choice, because they made that choice. You don't want to indirectly insult a decision that they've made previously, right? That's how you're going to build trust, is just showing that you've got class and you're showing up in a certain way. Now, if you know that your product actually is going to benefit them more, then you can share that, but in a way that still honors the choice that they've made previously. And just by listening, they will eventually tell you the other things that they're actually still looking for or needing anyway, right? So it's just a different way of showing up. I know we're close to wrapping up here. I'll just share a quick experience that I had in my time as a B2B seller. I was representing a highly regarded line of nutritional supplements that I was selling to healthcare practitioners that they would use in their practices. And I had an extensive product line. One of the products in the line was a high quality fish oil. I remember speaking to one healthcare practitioner who said, yeah, I'm already using XYZ fish oil from a competitor. I asked my question, okay, great. What do you love about that? And he told me, and he mentioned a couple of things that he didn't love so much about the fish oil. That was my opportunity to say, okay, would you like to try mine? Absolutely. I'll get, so great. I'll get you a sample. He ended up loving it, and it was great. That was a classy way of, I wasn't going to say anything negative about the competition. I was simply going to listen and offer up a different perspective or different qualities that he could consider. In another instance, very parallel, another customer using a competitor's product, fish oil. I said, okay, great. What do you love about that? He said, well, honestly, I've had a great relationship with that rep for many, many years. And I said, you know what? I love that. And I really honor that you have that relationship and that you nurture that relationship with that rep. Absolutely great. Go ahead and stick with that one. We've got other things we can talk about today, right? That actually served to reinforce the trust that he had in me about the many other products. There were many other things that we could discuss. We didn't need to go after that, right? So it actually served to strengthen ultimately the trust that he had in me.
Beautiful.
That was good stuff.
Ah, what a rich discussion, Robin. Wow. I mean, so talk about over delivering. I mean, I was ready for the mic drop at the end of the first point about how you see the world and the universe. You're such an encouragement, and this has been so incredibly powerful. I know everyone's going to want to connect with you, and we'll definitely put that on. I think you're in the challenge group too. And
Yes.
By the way, we've got a private group on on LinkedIn for the challenge. It is on LinkedIn. And I know somebody's going to drop that in the comments, the link to that. We want you to join that. Robin is in there. And you're just such a treasure, Robin. You literally are. It's so amazing. Tell folks how they can get your book and how they get more Robin treasure in their life.
Oh, you're awesome. Thank you so much. So I'd love to connect with anyone on LinkedIn. I am pretty active on LinkedIn, so please do look me up there, Robin Treasure. Let's see, you can also go to my website, robintreasure.com. If you want to pick up a copy of my book, it's on Amazon. The title is Heart Powered Sales. Heart Powered is hyphenated, so Heart Powered Sales. Pick that up on Amazon. I do have the audio version as well, which I recorded myself. Had so much fun doing. And then there's so much fun. And then there is the paperback and ebook version. So if you want to pick up whatever your preferred version is, that's awesome. I would love it and would love to hear your thoughts afterwards.
Oh, this is good stuff. Hey, by the way, there's a couple I just happened to notice in chat or in the comments are a couple comments, one from Tegmeyer and one from Jackie Joy. So Daryl, if you can bring this up real quick and then we can wrap.
Yeah, really good. Let's see. We got Dave Tegmeyer. Oh, quickly, what does your morning routine look like? And who inspires you?
Okay. Woo, great questions. To keep it super quick, to be honest, some mornings are completely hectic. I've got a teenage daughter and 2 cats. Things can be hectic. Other mornings are absolutely beautiful. And what I love to do is just upon waking, think of what I'm grateful for, think of my intentions for the day. One of the key things that has really changed my life for the better is I've got a really great agenda that prompts me to list what I'm grateful for in the morning. So what I'm grateful for in the morning, what I'm excited about for that day. Then of course I've got space to list my daily plan, my agenda, my activities. And then in the evening, what wonderful things happened today. And so that's a great way. I start my morning every morning with that, really filling in my agenda and then wrapping up the day by completing it. And that's one of the best things that I do. So
that's rich. Well, let's pick up the conversation in the private LinkedIn group. And if you've got more questions for Robin, just tag her in there. And let's keep this conversation going about trust. Robin, this has been amazing. Thank you
So much.
You are amazing. And what a great day today.
Thank you so much. It was such a pleasure being with you. Thank you.
Woo, Larry, we got a great challenge. This is so fun.
I love this stuff. I love this stuff.
I love Challenge Week, and they're so rich. Let's just knocked it out of the park again in terms of thinking about the ability to build trust in the first few seconds of an interaction, and then to reinforce that with how we follow up. There was a great comment by our friend Jill Katzenberg, and I just had to pull this in to wrap up because she says the fortune is in the follow-up. And I want to give a shout out to Jill because I don't know anybody who follows up better. And Jill, if you're still watching.
Oh, there you go.
This came in my mail. There's, yes, I did get an opportunity to go to Mount Everest Base Camp. Thank you. That's a little generous, I think, side by side. But here she is, like following through and following up, right? I still have not met Jill face to face. I know it's going to happen soon. But look at that follow up and the opportunity to build a relationship. And by the way, this is one of our presenting partners here at the challenge is From the Heart Cards. We'll just pull that up. You can send a card like this. If you want to send one to Larry, I don't know if you want Superman next to him, but I don't know what action figure you put next to Larry.
Stop, man, stop.
But like the fortune is in the follow up, and thank you, Jill, for sharing that. Because to me, this, there's so many opportunities we have to build trust from the way we show up to the way we follow up and the way we handle issues and all of that. It's so powerful. Larry, what a great week. Tomorrow. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, I mean, I can't wait. I mean, the first 2 days have been great. Come back for Dan Dominguez. Dan Dominguez is an amazing individual. He's going to talk about why and how you can build trust with this. But hey, just really quick. I know Jackie and Bill are out there as well. Drop the LinkedIn group because there's a couple of people who have asked for the LinkedIn group. If we could just go ahead, drop that in the comment section. Go to it. Just request to join. We'll accept you and all that, unless you're Greg Walters.
Yeah.
I just had to say that. Fun. Sorry, Greg, but
join
I appreciate you.
Challenge group. And while we're waiting for that link, here we're gonna ask two favors. Number one, go find your why and share a video in that challenge group about what you discovered. I promise you, when you see your why, it's going to be one of those aha moments where things just go right into focus. And second of all, spread the word. We've got 3 more days left on this challenge, and it's not too late to bring your friends, your coworkers, and even your clients. Invite them into this. What they're going to learn tomorrow with Dan Dominguez. Let's see, Greg. We love you, Greg. What we see with what we're going to see tomorrow from Dan Dominguez and what we got going for the rest of the week is just going to be so powerful. Dan is incredibly inspirational, super practical. And you're going to love it. You're going to love it the most if you go discover your why before you show up. So go to sellingfromtheheart.net/why. We'll make sure you get the link to the challenge group. As we wrap up, though, Larry, I just want to say this is fun and this is powerful. When we get trust, when we get strategic about how we build trust, we show up authentically for our prospects and clients, good things happen.
No, absolutely. And what I really, really love and admire about what goes on social, because there's a lot of negative stuff that goes on social, but I love the chatter and the discussions that are happening now around trust, how to build trust, and how to bring your authentic self to the forefront.
That's right.
Double down this week. Go back, listen to the recordings. Bring this to the forefront. I just wanted just another quick shout out on your why. There's a lot of chat out there about uncovering your why and sharing your why. But until you go and really uncover it, again, go to sellingfromtheheart.net/why. It takes literally 5 minutes to find this out. You'll be amazed, shocked, and how eerie they will nail your why. And then share it. Right. I mean, it is spot freaking on.
So fun. Well, thank you, everybody. What a great day today. Thank you again to Robin Treasure. Go grab a copy of her book. You're going to love it. We've got a great day tomorrow with Dan and the rest of the week. Thanks for helping us spread the word. And we'll see you back here tomorrow on episode 3 of the 2022 Trust Building Challenge.
Thank you for joining us today for the Trust Building Challenge. Building trust requires action. Your challenge to take what you have learned today and work together to put it into action right away. If you enjoyed the ideas and inspiration you've received today, please take a moment to share this challenge with your friends and clients. Let's all take action. We'll see you again tomorrow.